Welcome all to another edition of the C64 Round Up, your concise guide to the latest news and releases for your Commodore 64. And this month we have a special feature, Terrestrial, a multi-genre arcade game by the Icon 64 team. The backstory to Terrestrial sees Captain Havoc returning to his homeworld from the outer reaches of the solar system when he suddenly receives a transmission informing him that his homeworld has been invaded by an alien force. The planet's only hope is a hidden base on one of the nearby moons that happens to be home to an elite group of soldiers. Captain Havoc is ordered to head to the hidden base and make plans to win back his homeworld. The game starts off in the space hangar where you board your attack craft and attempt to launch it out into space successfully. To do this, apply the thrusters while aligning the rocket ship towards the hatch at the top. As you get closer to the hatch, it'll open up and off you go. No doubt, this section will remind many of you of that blasted hangar stage in Raid over Moscow. Fortunately, this section is far less frustrating than that. In order to take down the enemy command base, we need to destroy 3 shield generators beforehand. As we start making our way to one of the shield generators, the enemy sends out an attacking fleet. This takes us to stage 2 of the game, where we need to take out the enemy fighters by blasting them to smithereens. Our craft can take 5 hits before we lose one of our lives. Once we see off the fighter crafts, we need to finish off their fleet ships. To do this, we need to destroy all the yellow beacons. And I hope you're good at your 7 times multiplication tables, because it's going to come in real handy here. What we need to do is fire a shot off at the yellow beacon and take a look at the distance indicator shown in yellow at the bottom of the screen to see how off we are. A plus value means we need to adjust down our aim, with one aim value being worth 7 distance points. A negative distance value means that we need to increase our aim. Once we have destroyed all the yellow beacons, our craft is able to go into the city with the shield generators, which then kicks off stage 3, the canyon level. Here you need to destroy enemy units hurtling in your direction while avoiding obstacles such as asteroids. Eventually you'll come up against a protector ship. Blast it with everything you have while avoiding the missiles raining down on you. Stage 4 brings us to the Cabal style of gameplay, where your aim is to clear all structures in order to secure a landing zone. Temporary weapon upgrades are available that will make the process of bringing down building structures a little easier. Once the area is cleared, we move on to stage 5, which sees our tank being dropped off, and our job here is simple: blast everything in sight in order to get to the shield generator. This stage is different from the others in that one hit will result in the loss of one of your lives, and you have to start the stage from the beginning. Once you get to the end, we are ready to take out the shield generator. First we need to destroy all the small generators before we can take out the large one. Once you've done this, we need to repeat the same process again 2 more times before we can take on the enemy command base. So it's back to launching another spacecraft and then repeating stages 3 to 5 again, albeit with a slightly increased difficulty level. Once all 3 generators are destroyed, it is time to take on the enemy command. Again, we launch off in a spacecraft and go through more difficult instances of stage 3 to 5 with the completion of the tank round, this time seeing us to do battle against the heavily fortified alien command base. Better hurry blasting down its defences before it turns its big laser cannon on you. Getting past this takes you to stage 6, where you take on the enemy guardians in a laser disc battle. Here, we need to time our disc throw so that it bounces off the wall and into the back of the guardian. Completing this stage will take you to the final stage involving the big alien brain, but we're not going to show you this here in this video. So there you have it. Terrestrial offers C64 players quite a bit of variation in gameplay, with many elements taken from a number of classic game titles from the early 80s. All of the stages play quite well. There are 3 difficulty settings on offer, with the difference being the number of lives you start off with. Terrestrial is being distributed via Cytronic software and is both PAL and NTSC compatible. The game will be available in cartridge, disc and digital download editions. Time to check out some latest news. RWX Designs is gearing up to bring the Hunchback franchise back to the C64 scene, starting off with Quasimodo's Christmas Caper. A single-screen platform game where your goal is to collect all the snowballs on a level, this little spin-off game is looking like a strong title with plenty of clever little touches. There'll be 12 levels on offer, plus some hidden bonuses ones as well, and plenty of things to collect to boost your score and provide you with power-ups. Quasimodo's Christmas Caper is expected to be released via itch.io on Christmas Day this year. Rhys Clatworthy is looking to pay tribute to the late Ollie Frey by developing a scrolling platform game based on the Rockford character Ollie created for the old Zap 64 magazine. The game will utilise the same game engine that Rhys is currently using to develop Stoker. The objective to Rockford is to collect a number of different items in order to obtain a Sizzler or Gold Medal status. The game is still early in development, so it will remain to be seen if it does result in a finished product. Congratulations to Roman Werner for winning this year's Reset 64 4K Craptastic competition with Marble Boy. In case you've not come across the game yet, Marble Boy is inspired by Marble Madness and Buggy Boy, where your objective is to go around a maze layout collecting pennants within a strict time limit. The game is well executed and a lot of fun. One game we will not see this year is A Pig Quest. The hype on this game is very high and with many good reasons. A Pig Quest is looking to be the next must-play title for the C64. Work on the game has nearly been completed, with some last-minute changes to graphics needing to go in, and the content of the game manual has yet to be finalised. A Pig Quest will be distributed via Protovision, with a digital version of the game slated for an early 2023 release, before the physical edition becoming available a little bit afterwards. Hey, it's time to check out what new games have been released of late. Just in case you didn't catch our special showcase episode on the game, Muddy Racers by Monty Boyd has finally been released through Protovision. Muddy Racers is a single-screen arcade racer presented with an overhead view. You can compete for the best time in a single race, or take on the championship mode and see who finishes on top of the leaderboard. Coins can be collected during a race and earned based on finishing positions, which can then be used to buy upgrades such as improved steering, higher maximum acceleration, nitro boost and oil slicks. Muddy Racers contains 18 tracks across 3 different environments and also allows 4 human players at the same time. There's so much to appreciate about Muddy Racers that is not immediately visible. The controls are good and you certainly notice when upgrades are applied to your car. The game's bumpy mechanics are quite critical to success in some of the tracks, especially as you realise that initiating bumps in the right spot can be used to your own advantage. The overall presentation is great, with some impressive visuals and the music soundtrack being perfect fit for a racing game of this type. Muddy Racers is fun whether you're playing solo or with friends. The game is both NTSC and PAL compatible and is available as a physical car and a digital download. Santa's Workout 2 is a single-screen puzzle arcade game where your objective is to help Santa find a safe path through the maze to find the key that opens the exit. The maze contains holes that will cost you one of your lives should you fall into them. Blocks can be used to cover up these hazarded holes, and Santa needs to be careful when walking across ice paths, as he cannot stop moving across the ice until he reaches the end. As you make your way to the exit, you can collect stars, Christmas ornaments and gifts for extra points. Santa's Workout 2 is available as a digital download from itch.io. Okay, this one's going to be a bit tricky to describe, but I think there's a bit of quality behind Arlosoft's latest release, Promethean Legacy. This is a dice rolling strategy game where you need to complete quests by placing qualifying dice into the slots on the right side of the screen. At the start of the game, the dice will only have low numbers on each side, and you need to build these values up by completing quests. However, a sacred fire may be extinguished after each turn, and you must ensure that at least one sacred fire burns after each round. These can be relit by sacrificing a pip on one dice, or by building a monument, or completing certain other quests. The ultimate objective of the game is to fulfill the 5 monument quests shown at the top. I'm not very good at this game, but this hasn't stopped me from spending quite a few hours on it trying to crack its strategy. Promethean Legacy is a digital download from itch.io. If you're looking for something far simpler to play, then try out Flappy Fairy. Hold the button to make your fairy fly up, let go for it to drop down. Nothing new here, but I quite like the visuals within the game. This is a good one to let the kids play with. C64 is a straightforward Sokoban game. Move the crates to the target spot to complete a level. Presentation-wise, the game can benefit with enhanced graphics and is missing music and sound effects altogether. If you like Sokoban, then you'll like Soko64 for a one-time playthrough. The new dimension has pushed out Slug vs Lettuce. The objective of the game is to go around platforms eating lettuce to collect points. The lettuce appears at random spots, and you have to survive for 10 minutes to collect as many points as possible and to complete the game. Simple game that is fine for a one-time play. Kai is a puzzle game with a simple aim of moving your green circle character around a map layout to collect all the diamonds. The puzzle element to Kai is working out what all the obstacles or hazards in the game do and figuring out how to manipulate them so that you can get free access to the blocked off diamonds. Just take note that not all hazards are benign. Some of them will actively pursue you, adding further depth to the game. Kai is a strong puzzle title, but it won't be for most people. It has a high difficulty curve and the presentation of the game itself is somewhat dry. This one is only for true puzzle fans. We have some more 8-bit Nintendo gaming come to the C64 with the release of Duck Hunt. The objective of the game is to just shoot the ducks moving around in a somewhat simplified flying pattern. Yes, it does get boring pretty quickly, as there's not much variation to the game at all, and you're going to want to play it at a higher difficulty setting to maximise the enjoyment you get from it. but you can't fault the graphical presentation. It does look very nice, and the C64 adaptation is quite a solid effort. The game can be played with a joystick or a mouse, or even with a Magnum light phaser. Duck Hunt is available as a free digital download. And that is a wrap on the final C64 Roundup for 2022. Thank you all for your support. I hope you enjoyed watching the C64 Roundup series across the whole year. It's been a lot of fun producing these videos over the past few years. All your comments are greatly appreciated and really help to spread the word across the C64 community. Thank you also to the small group of viewers who are able to support RGN financially. Your generosity ensures that I can continue producing these videos moving forward. Until next time, bye for now.